Greetings. So, technical issues, working through, trying to see what is going on again. It is a Wednesday, so we'll see what's going on. For some reason, it says chat's disabled in OBS. Let's see. But it is. Alright, good evening, Linda in Lake County. Welcome, dear. Alright, so I guess I'm doing this popping over. I guess, I'm not sure. Anyway, technology. So hopefully everything's working. Seems like there's a slight delay. Oh no. Okay, well, I just have to keep on going. So, the first thing, let me get this pulled up. Let's see how it should. Yeah, okay. So, first thing we want to do is take a moment of silence to honor our Creator. Okay, so technical issues this evening. Not sure what's going on. Okay, that's not what I'm. Seems as though now my mouse. Okay, so now we're back here. Seems as though the mouse is wanting to do its own thing. So let me get this to where I can work to see the display for the chat. Welcome, Hendricks County. Go ahead and, if you would, give your name. Let's get this so everybody can be able to. Again, I'm Christine on Gibson County. I'm having technical issues, so pardon for not much support with the chat at the moment. Let me stop the display a moment, maybe. Okay, what is the deal? Okay, alright. Let me. Oh, it's okay, so the lag doesn't seem to be as long as it has been in the past. So, it seemed as though things were working smoothly, but, you know, it is technology and it likes to have a will of its own. So what I'm doing is getting the link to what we're going over this evening and put it in the chat for you so you can have the links to look at it as well. So should it be giving these issues, let's see. So well, I don't know what that is. Okay, so technology. Okay, let me recopy it for the link. No, my mouse all day has been funky. Alright, so let me get the link, copy that. Alright, let's put this back in the chat. Welcome, Rosita. And that was Hendricks County. Awesome. We love to see all the counties coming together. Okay, so, and as you can see, Lake County's on as well. This also gives every other opportunities to be able to get in the call too as we're coming along. Okay, so there is the link there. I will ask if you could, as you know, you do notice technical issues on your end, if you would politely, please, you know, post it in the chat as well as you can, and maybe I can try to do what I can to see about correcting. Alright, so let's let me get this link up, and then we can go ahead and I really think this mouse is getting close to saying it's done. It's doing things all on its own. Okay, let's take, all right, so first off, I need to make sure we do this first. Okay, so we must make sure we have the Bivens decision expressed. So in the chat, please declare if you are a federal, municipal, territorial person. You must present yourself. We ask that you please present yourself. It's not that you're not welcome here. It's just that you should always disclose that you're here. Otherwise, you will need to leave the call. Is there any response to the Bivens decision for the first time? Hearing none. Again, if there's anyone here that is with any three-letter alphabet agency or anything like that, you must present yourself at this time in the chat, and this also covers for the length of the call. And if you do not present yourself, anything you might attain would not be admissible. Otherwise, you do need to leave the call. Any response for the second time on the Bivens decision? Hearing none. For the third and final time, any response to the Bivens decision? Again, no response. Further, again, must leave a response in the chat or leave the call. Okay, got to get that out of the way. All right, because today they are as they are. Okay, so I want to go. Okay, so I pulled this up. I'm thinking, yeah. Okay, so go here. That is not it. Okay, so hold on just a moment. Let me get this copy and paste it in. Again, that's why I put the link to this, so you would have it as well, so you can be able to access it. Because I'm only going to play a short portion of this. That is not what that is. Oh, why was it? Okay. I'm only playing a short portion of it, but you're more than welcome to listen to the rest of it. But for this particular one, it's just the first few minutes of it, and I'll get it pulled up, and then I'll get the display up. Hopefully. What is the deal? Okay, let's see. My mouse is going crazy. Okay. There we go. Okay, hold on. Let me get this, because I stopped it where I was going. Nope. Right? That's okay. So I wanted to make sure that I was on it. Make sure volume is well. Okay, now also I can't guarantee how the volume is going to be on your end. So that's why in that document I've got up, and it's from start to just under 4 minutes. Yeah, to 3:57. So let me see, maybe I can do this. I can move these over here. Hopefully, if it gives you an echo or feedback, let me know as well. But I'll get this going, and I'll get the display going. Sure. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, maybe it's the sticky note was messing with the laser thingy. Okay. Okay. So, all right. Yes, you should see this. Right. Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and play. Nope. Sure.
And just like I've told you for many, many years, you don't have to lie about things. You don't have to sensationalize them. You don't have to make anything up. You don't have to invent figures. The truth is bad enough. The truth's bad enough. And if you tell the truth, you have credibility. And credibility means people will listen to you. Credibility means things will be tended to. When you lie and people find out that you're lying, and it's easy, it is so easy to discover, then you have no credibility. You become a liar. You become somebody with no confidence factor. You become a rumor monger. You become a minion of the old, who was it? Oh, who was it that was billed as the great deceiver? I wonder who that was. See, whenever you spread a rumor, whenever you tell a lie, whenever you stretch the truth or sensationalize something, and I don't care what the reason is that you do it, you become an ally of the great deceiver. Somebody called him Heinrich Himmler. Somebody else called him Lucifer. Somebody else called him Satan. You can call him anybody you want. But listen to me very carefully. He's not anybody I want around me. His minions are not anybody that I want to know or be associated with or hear from. His minions and allies and supporters are not the people that I care about. You understand? You want to be on his side? Stay the hell away from me. Don't call me. Don't write me. Don't reference me. Don't email me. I don't want anything to do with you. If you're a spreader of rumors and lies and disinformation and sensationalization and all of this other bullshit. Do you hear me, sheeple? I don't know why it makes people so angry. You know, if all get off your butts and do the same research that I do, you would know the same things that I know, and you shouldn't be angry or jealous or upset. What you should be is thankful for having forewarning so that you can act upon it. But do you ever act upon anything? Have you ever? Will you ever? That's the question. That is the hinge upon which the door to the future operates. You don't know that. You don't give a damn, probably. Because to oil the hinge and make the door work and make it all better, you gotta get up off your ass and do something. Oh, heaven forbid you have to do that. Oh my goodness, you might even have to take some kind of personal risk. You might even get on somebody's list. Oh, people might even start to respect you because you cease to become worthless. I backed up every post I've made with facts.
Okay.
When I didn't give facts, I gave sources or references. And when I didn't do that, I told people it was very easy to find.
Okay. So you'll be able to go back to that if you want to go further into that video. That was Bill Cooper. He is, or was, I should say, he was, move this over here. That was Bill Cooper. He was, did not die of natural causes. Let's just put it that way. And, so he was not a preacher or anything like that. He was a truth teller. So very very important information that he was sharing with the world. Welcome, Johnson County. All right. So, I wanted to share that with you all. Okay. Now we will go to, hopefully the mouse is going to cooperate. All right. This is Anna's article 4110, Spiritual Warfare. Now, in the document, I have the link to the PDF itself for Anna's article, as well as then this is the Ed Movius link. This is great for if you're traveling, or you're around doing your chores around the house or out in the yard. You can be able to put this on and be able to keep up with the articles from Anna. When I looked earlier today, he was up to article 4165, I want to say. So he's still, because Anna she's been pumping them out, so you got to give him time to be able to catch up with her. So we'll go ahead and get these in. So we can get back to, I'm trying to make sure I can be able to see chat to at least comment as I can while we're doing it. And I'll get this mic over here again. Did that help? By the way, did that help to have the mic over by the speaker? How was the volume? Hello? Evidently still a little bit of a lag. Oh no. How far of a lag? That's not supposed to be lagging that far, I think. Okay. Volume is great. Okay, thank you, Linda. Okay, so it is a little bit of a lag, but not much. At least you're hearing. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so I will do that again of putting the volume over for this next video. Again, this is article from Anna, Spiritual Warfare, and it's Ed Movius's channel, and so you'll be able to subscribe so that you can be able to get the audio of Anna's articles as well. And if you can, if there's a way to be able to support his work there, because the software to do that is not it's not the cheapest software out there. So anything you can do to be able to support everyone that's helping this mission is greatly appreciated to help everyone. So always remember that too.
Spiritual Warfare by Anna von Reitz. The first thing that we must notice is that spiritual warfare takes place in the realm of the unseen. In terms of law, that means that the battles take place in the jurisdiction of the air under ecclesiastical law. More personally for us, it is a war between what is true and what is false, between belief and knowledge, wisdom and foolishness, intentions and results. For millions of Christians, this battle is to be won, according to the words of the book of Revelation, not by power, not by might, but by my God the Father's Spirit alone. Though this does not imply that we can sit on our rumps in the middle of a spiritual war. Our actions may not count for much, but we must still make decisions for ourselves. How will we recognize evil? What is our own answer to evil? As a wise man once put it, we can resist evil, but what we need to do is to renounce it, to turn our backs on it, and walk away, putting our attention and energy elsewhere. This is what Hunter is talking about when he says, I am done with evil. And this is a simple statement of fact. We all need to be done with evil, not afraid of it, not concerned by it, not focused on it, not confused by it, just done with it. Like a false friend or a bad recipe, done with it. We need to tell the truth, walk the truth, and become the truth, and let the rest of the chips fall. We need to be free by setting ourselves free. In the end, we are the authorities who rule over our own lives. Throughout my work, I have been describing the works of evil and how evil operates, so that you can recognize the modus operandi of evil. For example, they always pretend to be part of the group they are targeting for destruction. If they want to target Jews, they pretend to be Jews. If they want to destroy Catholics, they pretend to be Catholics. If they want to destroy a nation, they pretend to be part of that nation. Just as our municipal corporation subcontractors look like Americans, sound like Americans, and in all ways appear to be Americans, while in fact adopting a foreign political status and taking their orders from foreign governments. They also accuse their opponents of doing whatever they are doing themselves, a process that our medieval forebearers called the pot calling the kettle black. So, if they are lying, they accuse you of lying. If they have just stolen a horse, you are accused of being a horse thief. This aforementioned trait of evil is especially reliable. The evil ones always seek to distract and deflect the attention of their opponents, so that you don't see what they are doing, much like a magician deflects your attention to pull a trick. Look closely at all the nonsensical subjects that are constantly center stage in the mainstream media for no apparent reason. Your attention is being captured and focused on things that, A, don't impact your life, or B, things you can't do anything about. That means your imagination and your time is being wasted, too. There is a reason that the BBC's motto is, listen and obey. They and all the other major news producers aren't really in the business of truthfully reporting anything to you anymore. They switched to a new product line without telling you. They are instead in the business of molding your opinions for you, choosing your candidates, your toothpaste, and even your beliefs. Their narrative about human-caused global warming is a good example. People believed in this because the news media and politicians and purported experts and authorities promoted it. And then, one realizes that a single large volcano can produce more carbon dioxide in a single day than humans have released during their entire sojourn on Earth. The whole pseudo-scientific hoax was all nothing but an excuse to seize more regulatory control and impose more taxes. The evil ones also misrepresent and deflect in other ways. They do things like creating false paperwork concerning you and your political status. They make up false narratives about your life and occupations. They keep these phony dossiers in coded master files so that you are never likely to read them and object to the big lies they have established about you. In this sprawling kingdom of lies, normal great-grandmothers are running distilleries and smuggling rum into the United States, and all the public employees who feel like they are insiders and in the know believe this tripe without a question. Middle-aged accountants are suddenly drug runners. High school students are trafficking toddlers. And the local plumbers' union hall is a gathering place for dangerous social deviants and insurrectionists. Provided with such misinformation from higher-ranking authorities, the pawns bring SWAT team members to the door of a farmhouse and blow apart housewives and babies like they did at Ruby Ridge, and deploy industrial flamethrowers and tanks against peaceful members of a religious sect, like they did at the Branch Davidian community in Waco, Texas. This, in a country founded on religious freedom. And everybody knows it. Obviously, these people aren't playing with a full deck. Their own leaders are misdirecting them. They are acting on authorities they don't have, and enforcing laws that don't apply, just like the camp guards at Auschwitz. Note the NY municipal district attorney wasting hundreds of millions of dollars on extra security because of equally ridiculous Trump indictments. Apparently, Alvin believes everything he is told by the FBI, and the FBI parrots whatever their employers at DOD, INC tell them, and nobody tells the truth. And they are all profiting at our expense from this. They were all prepped up and waiting for millions of armed Trump supporters who never came. Like the January 6th non-riot where the Capitol Police had to open the doors and wave all the purported insurrectionists inside. It's the Muslims, it's the Jews, it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans, it's the black people, it's the white people, it's the January 6th protesters. Or is it the Capitol Police? It's the camp guards, it's the politicians, and if it's not them, it's the generals who made the plans, gave the orders, and paid the paychecks. Or is it? They will say that they were just following orders too. Whoever it is to blame, it is always anyone and everyone except that it isn't them, the source of the problem. The whole game is like playing, pin the tail on the donkey, but there is no donkey and no tail, and that is just the way that the masters of deceit like it. Blame anyone but them. This is what all the distraction and fear-mongering and finger-pointing is about. Keeping attention deflected away from the actual perpetrators, who are, after all, sitting there in plain sight, owners and operators of foreign municipal corporations housed in the District of Columbia. They also always try to profit themselves using the Hegelian dialectic. They create a problem, take your pick, they present their pre-planned solution, and they profit from the problem they created by selling their solution. This motivates the evil ones to create more and more and more problems. Not less. Think about $1, 3 trillion in phony vaccines and related products sold to the respective world governments by the same people who brought us the human-caused global warming hoax and tax plan. As usual, Yeshua got the last word concerning them, that you shall know them by their fruits. The good trees bear good fruit and the bad trees bear bad fruit. So, when you pay trillions of dollars to be safe in your own home, and you are not safe because your own public employees are 10 turnips short of a load, yes, it is time to take action. As my mother said to a friend contemplating divorce, be done, and not just done, Donadone. Done the way you are done when you exit an abusive marriage, a bad job, or a lying lover, when you are never coming back for any reason, when your mind and your heart are settled and in agreement, and you just walk out the door, you are engaged in spiritual warfare. When you stop resisting evil and renounce it, instead, the fight is already over.
All right. Thoughts on that? Of course, it's just, well, maybe we're catching up on this, hopefully. Okay. So, yes, do you have thoughts on that? Have you noticed that just recently, I want to say, let me put this back over here, get the mic back over, and welcome Jeff on Marion County. Glad you were able to get in on the call with us. Okay, so have you heard that recently Dr. Carl Malone, I want to say, is the doctor, put out that video of the more recent results of those that have been fully, jabbed up as possible, what they're seeing in their bodies. So it does have a slight delay, I guess. I'll wait a moment. It should be getting close to finishing. That you'll be able to. I have this set where it is. Where we should be able to, but I guess because I did. Eventually, it's gonna work its way out. All right, so see, we have another caller on, but they haven't presented themselves. I want to make sure and put their name and county on Indiana, so everyone here that is on the call, that has put their name and county in, because we're Americans and we're up front. It's still lagging. It should be getting close. Well, check it out. I'll just go ahead and put that in there as to the doctors are providing the results of more of what. Maybe that's what that's for. I've got to maybe reset that. Okay, it's too late now at this point. Okay, that they are discovering a lot of things that are now more visible effects of the results of those that are fully jabbed up with everything. So some things to think about as to when is enough that you not only want to, clearly you want to get yourself out of the mess, and you can't help anybody else until you get yourself out, because right, that's the first thing they always teach you in everything that's first aid related, is that you take care of yourself first, so that then you start taking care of that next one right next in front of you, and you're working your way out to help support them. So yeah, think about that. So at what point in time is enough that it's time we all come to the table to see how we can be able to bring this to a stop? If not, if the people that are experiencing this, if they're, even if it is their will, we still love them, they're going to be suffering terribly, so there should be something, send love, but you got to do something at this point. It's time to actually do something. And if you don't know what that is, all the more reason that you need to come to the table and make yourself present. Don't email me with why you can't do something and what the other things going on. Connect in when you're ready to say, I don't know what I can do, but I'm ready to come to the table, okay? So then when we arrange to come to the table, then be there. Be present. Show up to the table. Let's start talking about the things that do bother you, so that we can be able to get this cleared out. The process has been rolled out. There are the notices are out there on the that Anna has been sending out on her website. She has specific notices that have been going to the from the international level for the C jurisdiction to be able to of communicating this with the Pope and all of them from that perspective. But it also rolls out what we're supposed to be doing, okay, and how we're supposed to be how we're notifying people, and what it is that we're presenting and who we're presenting it. So that's why let's start coming to the table, because we're better united. Right? Not solo. That's the whole thing that they're all about, is trying to separate you from any kind of strength and support. Right? It's time to come together, united, and start cleaning up this mess. We've got the plan laid out for us. All we have to do, you don't know what to do? There's the plan. We got to come together. We've got to get the General Assembly put together. We've got to get the Militia Assembly together, because none of that work of trying to get that cleaned up is going to, just like you have to get yourself on the land, right? Now it's time to get the assembly standing up fully on the land, so that you all have the authority and standing to clean this mess up. It's time to get moving. How much more is it going to take to get movement happening? You wanted a how-to, what to do. It's being given. Even if it were in a step-by-step, I don't think it would be still completely explain detail enough for you to move on it. So at some point, time to grow up. Okay? The plan has been laid out in those, so it's time to come together, come to the table, time to bring the family together. We've all been split up because of various reasons throughout the past. It's time to come back to the table now. Right? It's time to come back to the table. We've got the plans have been laid out. Yes, are we going to have to do a little bit of thinking on our own as to what direction to take and how to be able to, and are we going to have to sacrifice a little bit of putting out some postage? Okay, many of you fight tooth and nail to try and get out of paying postage, but yet you want the assembly to cover your postage. Okay, it's that it still has to be dealt with, right? We cannot tackle the postal service till you get everything else going. Okay? What's the problem is we're waiting on you all to move. Okay? And the sooner you all get moving, I'm here to make sure that you all meet the eligibility requirements. It's not about whether I like you or dislike you. You have to meet the eligibility requirements. However, we do not accept or tolerate poor behavior either, because that belongs with a U.S. citizen. And so that will not be tolerated. You will be given opportunities to correct yourself. But that tone won't be happening here. Okay, because we are on the land and soil. We have standing. You don't, because you're still trying to figure it all out. So don't come in with an attitude as though anything. So, pay for the postage. Americans handle what they need to handle when they need to take care of things and how they need to handle themselves. Okay? Come together so that we can start pulling this stuff together. We can start getting the notices sent out for the mass distributions. I have not been able to send out any notices yet in that because I have 50 copies of the notice, but there are 92 counties on Indiana, and it's working out getting 42 more copies. And anyway, so as well as then figuring out how postage is going to be dealt with. It has been an Indianian that has specifically supported postage, and that will be able to at least get me started with it. But it's not like I can send out 50 when they're all going to for example, this first round going to the prosecutor. So if you're saying you're sending out to all 92 county prosecutors, you have to be ready and prepared to send out to all 92 county prosecutors at that time. So it is a large task to handle, especially for one. So so that has taken a little bit more time, but it's coming along. But it would be that's where coming together of where everybody can pick up and support in different ways, as opposed to leaving somebody to do the work that that they should be. I have been able to get the template for a cover letter that you can send on your own with the notices that are to go out, and Anna's public notices there give you the listing of who all has got to be noticed. They all have to be noticed. They've got to be noticed from the assembly perspective, but it really also has to be noticed from you all as those having standing. At least have your 1779 and presented the 2 witness testimonies and birth certificate. And then you can start supporting by sending notices. Okay? But as you've sent notices, if you've gone ahead and sent some notices, send an email to me or records at theindianaassembly.org and say with your one copy of the cover letter and copy of a postage receipt, just that it was done, and maybe a list, or no, we don't even need the postage receipt, but a list of who it was sent to. That would be key, so that others can, that's the main thing, is so that others can see who it was sent to, and I can post that to the website so others can see that others are doing it. But at some point, somebody's got to start doing it. Start moving. Start doing it. We're waiting on you all. Okay, so one last article from Anna. Article 4105. This is our proving ground. Alright, to get this up. Put this over here. Get things all adjusted. And so I guess y'all are in a slight delay, so I'm not quite sure where the delay is going to be. Let's see, what was the last? 4110. 4110 spiritual. It's on the document at the link above. Has the PDF of the article by Anna, and also the link for the Ed Movius audio that we just watched. Now we're doing 4105. This is our proving ground. Let me make sure that's, yeah, okay. Alright, we'll get this so I can get this visible here. All this tech. Okay, I gotta have that this way. Okay. Oh, that was not the one I wanted there. Where did that go? Oh no. What did I just do? Okay. Oh my goodness, my mouse is like going crazy today. Alright, here is it. Okay, hold on. And I'll get the mic over here. Again,
This is our proving ground.
Alright, we'll get this. Let's see. 4110. Yeah, it's 4110 and 4105. You're correct, yes. Let's see. A couple months back, I did send notice to jury summons. Okay. Well, afterwards you'll have to like give a brief comment or something about how your response was with that. All right, we'll get this last one in here. Okay.
By Anna von Reitz. This is the time and place we have available to decide who we are, what we value, and how we are going to live. There is only one time to do this, and that time is now. We have been called to protect ourselves and protect our families from criminals, but in order to do this, we must know, for sure, who the criminals are. The adversaries we have engaged are famous for their duplicity, mental gymnastics, verbal skills, and illusions. They are quite literally magicians and masters of deceit. We can't afford to take anything for granted or make mistakes. That's why I encourage people to not just take my word for anything, but go look things up for yourselves. Go get yourselves a legal dictionary and see for yourselves how often legal terms mean something very different from their common meanings. When I tell you where to look for things in the public and institutional records, go research it for yourselves. Read it in black and white with your own two eyes. If necessary, sit there with your legal dictionary and decode every single word of what you are reading. I did. Remember, we've already done the hard work of finding the needle. All you need to do is confirm it for yourselves. And then, you will know, for sure, for yourself, where the bear went through the buckwheat. You will be able to see through the matrix of lies we've all been living in for far too long. As Edgar Allan Poe said, believe nothing you hear, and only half that you see. Poe was born in Boston in 1809 and died in Baltimore in 1849, right in the middle of the time period and geography that housed both the birth and death processes of the American Federal Republic, our American federal subcontractor. He spoke these cautionary words because he knew or sensed the thick veil of lies and illusions associated with the times in which he lived, times remarkably like our own. When the great-great-grandsons of the men who destroyed our federal republic hope to take the plum and call it their own. Remember, always, that a large part of their evil magic is to confuse people, so as to make good men appear evil and evil men to look good. Remember our great-uncle Clintwood, a civilian member of our Federation government, riding home to West Virginia with the Great Seals in his saddlebag, attacked by Union cavalry in civilian dress, all of them against one man and his little brother, a lad not yet 16. Most of the attackers died or were wounded in the fight. They shot Clintwood's horse. In the melee, he caught one of their loose mounts and rode hell-bent for the West Coast, where he lived on the run for the rest of his life. They stole the Great Seals and accused him of being a horse thief. A lesser man wouldn't have made it out of that ambush alive. There would have been no witnesses to rise up and warn a future generation. So listen well, for this is how the criminals always do things. They will try to do this role reversal, where the victim of a brutal overwhelming ambush is described as a horse thief, or an embezzler, or a tax evader, or a pedophile. They will also ensnare your attention and rile your emotions with stories and unofficial narratives, spinning dramatic, insider information, tales about sensational subjects, all to focus your attention away from whatever it is they are hiding. What they are hiding is inevitably their goal, and this time, what they are hiding are the plans of these rogue municipal corporations operating out of the District of Columbia, to seize our federal republic and operate it as if they were the legitimate American subcontractors. When they are not, when they can never be. Yet another British territorial substitution fraud attempt is on the way. Just as they substituted a president for the president, just as they substituted the British territorial state of New York for our American Confederation member, the state of New York, the plot's afoot again, to steal by guile what they cannot take by force of arms. Wake up, America! Your very best sons and daughters have suffered and bled for 6 generations to bring this message home to you. Be sure to visit my website, www.annavonwrites.com, for the latest updates and information.
Alright, so that's interesting that the audio doesn't do the .com, but it'll do a dot in a sentence at the end of a sentence. That's funny. But again, those are those software tools. Alright, so again, now this, I've got this photo here, and it is with the link from the very first video that we listened to. And it came from that. It was further in the video, but this was in that video, so that way to give credit for that video. But I'll leave you all on this note for a revolutionary idea. I want you to think for yourself. Know thyself. After all, if you don't know who you are, how's anyone else going to know you? Are you a composite of your indoctrination and education, established religion, politically correct downloading? Or are you a unique sentient being? So be unique, original. Get to know thyself. All right. So that was, let me turn that off. Yeah. Okay. So finally that worked a little bit. All right, so we'll go. I'm not sure how much longer that's still lingering in. It is. I can't end the stream because you're not done yet, and I don't want to mess that up. I think I did that before one time. All right, so it's getting close. Oh, maybe not yet. So it'll be just a few more moments, not too much longer. But we've got more Indianians that are presenting their paperwork, so that we're getting them papered up, and they're working on getting armored up. And now we've got to get everybody in action. And that's the big thing. You got a main thing that's really going to help is, albeit there's a lot of emails that come through from the assembly, but at first it was also a lot more, but I have been working in trying to get those minimized depending on the topic of what the email is for, of course. So, but it is a lot of information. So it helps, though, if you open the email and at least read through it. Okay, a lot of times you'll find the answers you're looking for just going through some of the emails, as opposed to waiting to schedule a consult with me as though I'm going to give you a personal consultation to help you directly because you didn't want to take the time to go look up anything to see about how to be able to support yourself. And if you've presented your 1779, 2 witness testimonies, and birth certificate, you have you've got a great opportunity to get on to Mattermost. That's the communications platform from the Federation. It's a free tool presented by the Federation for the assemblies, for their nationals, to be able to connect with papered up and armored up across countrywide. And there are various channels based on the different topics, and you all come together and discuss the topics. Working together on presenting, well, what your situation was, what things you did, and give you tips and things like that. So it'll be a great tool and support, but it also means you're going to have to do it. There is nobody that's going to hold your hand through any of this. If you want that, there are municipal and district assemblies out there that can support you, but that is not what we do here. Americans handle their own thing. Okay, so now I don't know how far in the talk that's going to get. So I'm going to have to, at some point, I wonder if it goes ahead and finishes, but so I guess it's reading that now at this point. Well, I want to thank you all. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end here, but I will not cut the stream until I see that it's ended here. I want to wish you all, I want to send you all peace and love, and we can do this. You can do this. We just have to be able to come together. Love to you all.